All right, great, thanks, great to see everybody.
You only get to make that joke 2 times.
I'm on 2.
What, offensively in the second half, you guys shoot over 60%.
Yeah, the ball movement, we're setting early ball screens, keeping it on the move, trying to space them out, sometimes playing the over the top of the shoe, sometimes driving it. Felt like as much as any game this year, even with the movement, it was our guys being so connected and just making plays for one another, because it's like we get the kick to Gabe for the 3, or Jaren's coming off screening action and Caleb gets the big. It was just like guys were looking for each other and trying to make plays for each other. So as much as there's a scheme and a tactical part of it, there's also like a human being part of it. And I just felt like, man, I was so proud of our guys, how they shared the ball and took the advantage or the opportunity that was there.
You miss 9 shots, you get 5 of them back and score 11 for second half, for second chance points in the second half. What does that tell you what you guys are able to do?
Yeah, especially because we're 4 guards, the majority, and what I'd say Schoon's tipping was enormous, and Taman, he has 4 offensive rebounds at the point guard position, and I feel like every one of those turned into something, whatever it was, and so those are huge. Those are effort, energy, hustle, want-to plays, certainly something we talk about and work on, but still hard to do in a highly competitive game like that and find a way, and really pleased with our guys for doing so.
What were Caleb's contributions tonight?
Well, the thing with Caleb, I'd say more than anything is, he's such a competitor, and when he's on the court, our guys know how much he wants to win, and his confidence even in the big moment. And so defensively, is he at his best? Probably not. Offensively, is he exactly at his best tonight? Probably not. But man, he hits a huge 3. He knocks down key free throws late. And when he's on the court, our guys, the trust and the confidence they have with him out there, he's been a part of a lot of impactful wins and played a huge key role in those. So I think him being out there brings a lot to our team in itself. And again, for the guy to play 25 minutes in that game with his back out is pretty impressive.
What's it going? Let me back up to Jake. At what point was this your decision, Vic's decision, his decision to play?
Yeah, he got here early and worked out and wanted to see how it felt, and then him and Vic talked, and I wasn't here when he got his first workout, and those guys talked, and Vic said he's gonna give it a go, and he said to me that he and Caleb had a plan worked out that when he's out of the game or at halftime that he was gonna do things to keep it loose and keep it warm, and I just said if that's what it is, that's what it is. To me, I know what a competitor Caleb is, and I want to make sure that we're doing, what's in his best interest to be safe and healthy as much as we want to win the game. But, he said he wanted to go, and Vic gave him to go.
I think it was about the 10-minute mark. He came out and looked like he was in a lot of pain, went right to Vic. Did you think he was done at that point, or was there a discussion of his availability?
Yeah, there was a discussion. He and Vic talked, and he went back to the locker room even for a little bit. And they get tightened up on him, and I said, let me know. We'll figure it out either way. And a few minutes later, he came out and said he was available, so we put him back in.
TJ, you mentioned Taman on the glass, also added 10 points, 4 assists, a few steals. What did kind of stand out about his complete performance tonight, especially in clutch time late? Yeah,
I'd say, this is going to sound crazy to say, but he had, if I recall correctly, a time where he had a turnover around half court, and then there was another possession we lost it in a close proximity. And so adversity sets in, and he has no reaction. Like his court demeanor, the look in his eye doesn't change. Like the poise, the character, the moxie for a freshman, again, and the guy's guard's pretty darn good too, so he's in a tough spot there. And I'd say like winning play after winning play, command of the game late, sorry about my cough, command of the game late, the loose balls, the offensive rebounds, the passes to his teammates. He's unbelievable. He's an awesome young man, and he's competitor and a winner, and amazing what he's doing as a freshman.
For Jaron, I mean, just for what he was able to do finishing at the rim, and then in addition to his playmaking, do you feel like this had to have been better, one of his better nights since he's been here?
Yes, Jaron was dynamite on both ends. I thought defensively he had a really good game. I mean, look, efficiency here, 8 of 11 from the field, 23 points, 7 assists, 1 turnover. That's really good. That's hard to beat. That's a great night for anybody. And so, yes, I do think it's one of his better performances. I also think the pride kicked in. Like, our guys know Caleb's not at full strength. And, man, him and Kelch were both. Like, I mean, Gabe's playing 40 minutes a night, laying it on the line and taking charges, guarding the other team's best player. Big shots, big plays. I mean, those two guys, I mean, they lead us every day with how they work, and it's awesome to see how well they both played and how much they care about each other, because their energy together is great too.
What was the game plan against Johnson, and how did you feel like you guys executed that?
I thought our game plan was really sound. I mean, we wanted to deny him catches in those isolation areas, and we caught it. Wanted to bring a secondary defender. Turned him over 5 times. Felt like his points came more on, like broken plays. He had the offensive rebound. He had a drive. So I felt like our plan, was good. He's a great player. He's big. He's physical. He gets in tough spots. But I like our plan. I thought, there's times where he was frustrated, and that's what we need to do. We just need to be highly disruptive and guard him as a team. And for the most part, we did that.
With Jerry, we mentioned the 8 of 11 shooting, but a lot of those baskets came late in the shot clock. I mean, he talked about how he wanted to be on a big-time stage and play at a school like Iowa State. And, for him to do that in a game like this, what does that say about him?
Well, I'm glad he didn't want to just play at a school like Iowa State. It actually is Iowa State. I don't know what other schools are like Iowa State. Well, none from my vantage point. But, yeah, no, he was getting to his spots. He scores a ball in tough areas, floaters, mid-range. He kind of bullies his way to the rim. And so, man, he was so good, so efficient, and so dialed in. And he's really coming on for us. I mean, last week at home was a huge game, but this one's even better. So, guy works like crazy. He loves being here. His energy and enthusiasm. He's a competitor, but he's always got that smile on his face. He just loves being here and working. So, really proud of him.
Late in the game, as soon as he had some success with shots at the rim, and then obviously went to the line and made a few free throws. Did you guys want to attack the paint with the bigs, considering K-State's lack of physicality on the inside, I guess?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, whether they switched a guard on him, whether it was Shun or Rob, or whether it was an opportunity to just, post whoever they had, whether it was Masood or on their front line, we definitely had that commitment to the paint. Shun also gets 11 foul shots, which speaks to our ability to go into him as well. And I think at times when they're focused on keeping it out of his hands, it gives our guards, opens up the floor a little bit, allows us to drive it. And I thought it was the right balance that way. But no, Shun was great. I thought Rod came in right away, gave us an instant impact, and it's good to help balance our offense that way.
Jeff Van Gundy was in attendance tonight. What's your relationship with him?
Yeah, Coach and I met a number of years ago when I first came here as an assistant, and he's been a mentor of mine and somebody that I hold in a very high regard. He makes a lot of investment in our program, watching our team, our practices, coming out before the season, coming to games during the season. He means a lot to me. He's a really unbelievable person, heck of a coach, knows the game inside and out, and we're really fortunate he's made that investment on his own in our program and taking an interest in us, because he's been really helpful.
TJ, I know not everything's necessarily been perfect. You talked yesterday about how tough this league is. We all know that. But when you consider a night like tonight, like last Tuesday, other home games you've had here this season, what's the level of belief for these guys right now?
Yeah, I mean, every game's going to be, we've been in a lot of close games already. Tonight was another one, certainly the 2 we lost. And, they're all going to be dogfights. They're all going to be highly competitive. And you've got to be at your best every night. And like you said, the belief, to me, they earn that. Our guys earn that every day, how they work. and how they work together. So it's, winning the games validates that, certainly, but their belief and their confidence, I've really been impressed with their preparation leading into this game, as well as last week, both coming off a loss. I think a lot of times, for young people, when it doesn't go their way, they feel like they need to come in and be demonstrative with maybe not great body language, maybe someone didn't play as much, maybe somebody didn't play well, and they come in with an energy and enthusiasm to learn and get to what's next. And I mentioned Kelsher and Holmes in their leadership, and those guys are in the gym so early every day, and they do it on those days. And so I'd say overall the belief is high. It's really high, but yet, our belief is high. They made big shot after big shot late there. I mean, they shot the heck out of it, and you got to have that belief, and you've got to have the resolve, and then you just really got to stay together and find a way. And just fortunate we did that tonight.
Coach, from your vantage point, what is the biggest change you see from Kansas State last season?
I'd say their team, their belief has changed, certainly. The pace they play at in transition, you've really got to be mindful of Noel and those guys getting going in transition. Keontae's a really, matchup problem. So I think for them right now, obviously they're at this point in the season and they only have 3 losses. So they've got a lot of confidence, and, I think they know what their identity is. And they're doing, obviously their coaches are doing a great job. So, I personally, I think highly of Bruce Weber too, and think he did an unbelievable job. So comparing the two, I don't know exactly how to do that, as much as say, give credit to Kansas State where they're at right now, and Coach Tang, what he's done a really good job.
What's it take for Taman and Shun to execute that lob, that degree of difficulty in that spot?
Yeah, those are really hard plays. The one thing where I think where Taman's really good is when teams are off of him more. He doesn't get in his own head, he just makes the play that's there. So if you're not pressuring the basketball, even though those are hard passes and hard plays to execute, certainly the lob and things like that, when you're not pressuring the ball and you're off of him, it gives him more of a window to be able to throw that pass. So, he's so stubborn and tough, and not saying, hey, you're not going to guard me a certain way, so I'm going to do this. He's going to take what he wants, and those are hard plays to make, especially down the stretch. But he was one in the huddle saying, we're going in the paint, we're going in the paint, we're going in the paint. And, Shun draws 8 fouls, and that's down the stretch in games. That's a good way to be successful, is going in the paint and try to score at the rim and the foul line.
Thanks, everyone. Back to the players.